Okay, hello and hi everyone. So this is chapter 3, Consumer Mathematics, Saving and Investment, Credit and Debt. Okay, first and foremost, what is saving and investment? Saving refers to excess money deposited in the safe, money box or drawer. It is divided into three categories. First is saving account. The saving account holder can save any amount according to his ability. The account holder also can withdraw the saving at any time. Second is fixed deposit account. For fixed deposit account, it can save a certain amount of money for a certain period of time such as 3 months, 9 months or 1 year to nil. Okay, saving cannot be withdrawn before the maturity date. Okay, and thirdly is current account, where the saving in current account can be used for personal or business purposes. The current account applicant must submit a referral who is an existing current account holder at the same bank to open the account. Okay, next the investment. Investment also divided into three parts. First is share for the purpose of raising capital. Next is real estate, where the investment on immovable assets such as residential houses, shops, land, and others. And thirdly is unit trust. Unit trust company collect money from investor and the money is invested in various potential companies. Next, I will show you an example on simple interest and compound interest example. Example 1 is for simple interest. Encik Badrul deposited RM5,000 in a bank with interest rate of 3% per annum for a period of 2 years. Calculate the total interest that Encik Badrul will receive for the second year period. So the simple interest formula is equals to I equals to PRT, where the I is the interest, P is the principal, and R is the rate, and T is the time in years. What is the solution? The solution is you have to determine the P, R, and T. Where here the case is P is equals to 5,000, R equals to 3% or 3 over 100 equals to 0.03, and T is equals to 2 for 2 years. Thus the interest is RM 3,000 after you insert all the given information into the formula. Okay, example 2 here. This is an example of simple and compound interest. Mr. Charles deposited RM 6,000 in a fixed deposit account at Bank Berjaya for 2 years with interest rate of 6% per annum. What is the difference between the amount of interest Mr. Charles earned if he was given compound interest, compounded every 4 months compared to simple interest? So this is the simple interest step. You just have to follow the same step. Just like example 1, here you insert into the formula and you will get RM 720 ringgit. For compound interest, it is equal to MV equals to P brackets 1 plus R over N brackets to the power of N P, where P is equal to 6,000, R equals to 0.06 because of the 6% per annum, and N equals to 3 and T equals to 2. So the MV is equals to RM 6,756.97, and the total accumulated interest for this compound interest is 6,756 ringgit minus RM 6,000 equals to RM 756 ringgit. Thus, to find the difference of the simple and compound interest, you just have to minus both of the interest, and you will get RM 36 ringgit. Okay. So, what is the impact of changes in period rate of interest or return and compounding frequency on the future value of saving? First is the longer the saving period at the bank, the higher the amount of interest earned. Therefore, the final amount of saving also increases. Secondly, if interest rates are different for same principal, the total annual return received will be different. Okay, next we want to see and understand the Islamic banking system. Okay. This system is based on Islamic law or Sharia. Okay, the risk is managed according to the agreement, and the system is also based on the principle of justice, halal and profit sharing, and without usury. The system also does not specify rate of return on early stage of saving. Okay, the real rate of return is known upon maturity. Okay, now next is the return of investment, or also known as ROI. What is return of investment? Return on investment refers to the return value of each ringgit invested by the investor. So this is the formula for the ROI. ROI equals to total return over the value of the initial investment times 100%. Okay. This is the example for the ROI. Okay. Okay, first steps to find the solution. Steps to calculate the dividend. First, find the initial capital for the 3,000 units times 2 ringgit per unit. So it is equals to 6,000 ringgit Malaysia for the initial capital. For the dividend, 5% of 5 over 100 times 3,000 unit times 2 ringgit. So the dividend is equals to RM 300 ringgit. And then find the increase in share price, where RM 2 ringgit and 50 cents per unit minus RM 2 ringgit for the a year before. So it is equals to 20 cents, and then the capital gain is equals to RM 20 cents times 3,000 unit equals to RM 600. So the total return is equals to RM 300 plus 600 equals to 900. So the ROI, total return over 6,000 ringgit. So 900 divided by RM 6,000 times 100% equals to 15%. Okay, so this is the ROI, 15%. Okay, next we will see on the problems involving saving and investment. This question show you three investors. So it want you to find which is the most wise investor. Read the question, the given information carefully, read it. Find each of them receive RM 400,000 as gratuity from their company. So carefully read how they spend their gratuity. Okay, and find its investment method. Now to find the answer, you will have to do a comparison table to make it easier. For NTSID, what is the level of risk? The level of risk for the property, minor typo, for the property, the apartment fixed deposit is low. What is the ROI? Same as before, find the saving interest, fixed deposit interest, and the ROI. But the saving interest is equals to RM 800 times 12 months. It is equals to 9,600. Fixed deposit interest 14 over 100 times RM 250,000 ringgit Malaysia equals to RM 10,000. And the ROI is equals to RM 19,600 over 400,000 ringgit Malaysia times 100% equals to 4.9%. Okay, the ROI is 4.9%, and the liquidity of NTSID assets are saving are easily converted to cash, while property takes time to sell. For Mr. Leong, what is the level of risk? The level of risk for Mr. Leong in buying the share is high. What is the ROI? the ROI, the received dividend and bonuses depending on the performance of the company invested in. If he sells share, he is uncertain that he will be able to sell the shares at a higher price compared to the purchase price. This also depends on the economic situation and performance of the company's stock at that period. So find the dividend and ROI. So the dividend is equals to RM 32,000 ringgit ratio and the ROI equals to 8%, which is higher than NCSID. And the liquidity is moderate. And then next for Mr. Nevin. What is the level of risk for Mr. Nevin? The level of risk for both saving and fixed account are very low. But what is the ROI? So let's see the ROI. The saving interest for Mr. Nevin is RM 2000 after calculate, and for the fixed deposit interest is 1% times 200,000 equals to RM 8,000, and the ROI is equals to 2.5%. So far Mr. Nevin has the lowest ROI compared to Mr. Leong and CSID. And the liquidity for Mr. Nevin's savings are easily turned into cash. So what is the final answer after comparing the three investors? The most wisest investor are Mr. Leong because his return on investment value is higher than CSID and Mr. Nevin. The conclusion is effectiveness of their investment can be compared based on their returns for the year respectively. Okay, next is for credit and debt management. What is credit and what is debt? Credit means a contractual agreement between the supplier, for instance, bank or financial institution, and consumer. While for debt usually means an amount that has been borrowed but has not been settled. If a transaction is made using a credit card, the credit will be converted into debt. How does one manage credit and debt wisely? The credit card user needs to settle the debt payment within the period stipulated by the bank to enjoy interest-free period, and also one must pay the outstanding balance listed on the credit card statement and pay within the cash discount period for payment of debt. This is an example for impact of minimum payment and late payment on credit card use. Encik Ahmad received his credit card statement for January 2019 from Bank Sentosa. The statement shows Encik Ahmad has the current amount outstanding balance of RM 5,200 ringgit. Assuming Encik Ahmad did not use his credit card in February, what is the minimum payment to be paid? And if he only makes a minimum payment for January and the statement is 15 days from expiry date of the interest-free period, what is the balance for the February statement? What is the solution? Okay, the solution for this question is, as we know, the current amount is 5,200. Okay, first find the interest. The minimum payment that has to be paid by Encik Ahmad. So it is 5% from the current amount, which is equals to 260 ringgit. So the amount exceeded RM 50 ringgit, that's the payment to be paid by Encik Ahmad is RM 260 ringgit. And then the outstanding balance is 5,200 minus the minimum payment, which is equals to 4,940 ringgit. And then calculate the period subject to financial charges, which is equals to 15 days. 15 divided by 365 days per year. And then the interest charge 4,940 ringgit times in bracket 18 divided by 100 times 15 divided by 365 days equals to 36.54 cents. So the current amount outstanding balance in February is equals to 4,940 ringgit plus 36.54 cents equals to 4,976.54 cents. Okay, next is an example on how do you solve problems involving the use of credit cards. The example: Miss Jean wants to buy a French-made handbag online. She surfed the internet and find two interesting promotions. First, Company L in Singapore offers promotional price of SGD 250 SGD. For orders outside Singapore, 50 SGD shipping charges apply. And B, Company B in Malaysia offers promotional price of RM799 while the delivery is free for all orders to local address. Ms. Jin intends to make payment by credit card and she understands that the bank will charge an additional 1% on each transaction from abroad. Assuming the current exchange rate for Malaysian ringgit is RM1 equals to 34 cents SGD. As a wise consumer, which offer should Ms. Jin choose and justify the choice? So we must compare between the Company L and Company B. The solution is Ms. Jin. No, we compared for Ms. Jin, Company L and Company V as I said before. So the promotional price is for Company L is SGD 250 times bracket 1 divided by 0.34 cent SGD equals to RM 735 ringgit and 29 cent. Convert the promotional price, convert the postal charge price, and then add the additional charges by bank. 1% times 735 ringgit and 29 cents equals to 7 ringgit and 35 cents. So the actual price to be paid by Ms. Jin to Company L is supposed to add all the promotional price, postal charges and additional charges equals to 889 ringgit and 70 cents ringgit Malaysia. While for Company V, the promotional price is RM 799 ringgit. So the actual price also to be paid is also 799 ringgit Malaysia. It doesn't have postal charges or credit card charges, so the most wise choices to be made by Ms. Jin is Company V, because although the promotional price offered by Company L is cheaper, but the actual price payable is higher due to the additional charges incurred for online purchases from Company L. Okay, so if Ms. Jin buy from Company V, she will save RM 90 ringgit and 70 cents. Next is how do you calculate loan repayment and installment. It has two categories, which is flat interest and interest on balance. For flat interest, the flat interest method, the interest will be calculated on the original amount over the term of the loan. So the amount of interest charged per month is fixed, while for interest on balance interest method is the amount of interest charged each month on the loan depend on the amount of the loan balance for that month. Okay, this is the example for flat interest. Encik Azlan obtained a personal loan of RM10,000 Malaysia from Bank Mulia with an interest rate of 4% per annum. The repayment period is 7 years. What is the monthly installment to be paid by Encik Azlan? This is the formula for flat interest. A equals to P plus PRT. P stands for loan, R stands for the interest rate, and T is equals to time. Thus, the total repayment is equals to 10,000 plus around 10,000 times 4% times 7 times 100, which is equals to 10,000 plus 2,800 equals to 12,800. So the monthly installments is equals to the RM12,800 divided by 84 months. Why 84 months? Because 12 months times 7 years is equals to RM152.38. Now we will see an example on interest on balance. Okay, Cik Haris obtained a personal loan of RM10,000 from Bank Mulia with an interest rate of 6% on the balance. The repayment method is 7 years, while the monthly installment is RM150 Malaysia. Calculate the amount of interest payable by Encik Haris for the first 3 months. So this is the solution for first month, second month, and third month. The first month interest 10,000 ringgit times 6% times 1 over 12, because for 1 month, so it is equals to 50 ringgit for first month interest, and then the loan at the end of the first month is equal to 10,050 ringgit, and the balance after the first installment is 9,900. For second month, the balance of the loan at the beginning of second month equals to 9,900. Then the second month interest 9,900 times 6 divided by 100 and times 1 over 12 equals to 49 ringgit and 50 cents. The loan at the end of second month is equals to 9,900 plus the second month interest. Then equals to this. Then the balance after the second installment is equals to 9,799 and 50 cents. And then for the third month, from the balance after second installment, and then, so the balance at the beginning of the month is equals to this, and then the third month interest, same like second and first month interest. You have to calculate the third month interest, and then add with the loan at the end of third month interest is equals to 9,848 ringgit and 50 cents. So the total balance after the third month installment is 9,698 ringgit and 50 cents. Therefore, the total interest for the first 3 months is equals to 50 plus 49 plus 49 ringgit and 50 cents, and equals to 148 ringgit and 50 cents. This is the final answer for interest on balance. Next, we will see the example on how to solve problems involving loans. Mr. Vincent is a teacher with a monthly income of 2,000 ringgit and 800 ringgit Malaysia. He decided to buy a new car to commute to work. He contacted the bank to get a loan of 40,000 ringgit. In addition, every month he also need RM1,500 to cover other expenses. The following are loan package offered by two banks to Mr. Vincent. Here is the detail, and then the question wants you to suggest to Mr. Vincent which bank is the most suitable for his car loan and state the reasoning. The first step is to understand the problem. So the problem is the amount of monthly installment payable by Mr. Vincent, provided that it is not burdensome. And then you have to plan the strategy, calculate the monthly interest, and then you also have to calculate the monthly installment payable. Okay, second step, implement the strategy. So this is the amount of repaid to bank A and the amount of money repaid to bank B. Insert it into the formula. A equals to B plus PRT is equals to bank B. So B equals to 40,000 plus 40,000 times 4.5% over 100 times 9 equals to 40,000 plus 16,100 16,200 ringgit. So the total to be repaid is 56,200 divided by 108 months equals to 520 ringgit and 37 cents for monthly installment for bank A. While for bank B, same step, the monthly installment is equals to 722 ringgit and 22 cents. So the conclusion for this question is Mr. Vincent should choose Bank A because Bank A charges lower interest compared to Bank B. However, the different payment term result in different amount of interest paid. Therefore, Mr. Vincent could also choose Bank B, but it is more wiser to choose Bank A. That is all for chapter 3. Thank you.